Hello once again, book lovelies. I'm Jen and welcome to the Happy Little Book Nook. I am back today with another book review. So, sadly, I put the Outlander books aside for just a little bit. I'm almost done with Voyager and then I want to move on to the next one. But they are very long books to read, and as much as I love them and I adore them, Jamie, I feel like I'm pretty outlandered. That's not a word, but we're gonna make it a word. I'm pretty well versed in the Outlander universe right now with the second season of it being on Stars, so I can push away from it for a little bit. So I will be finishing Voyager soon, but I've decided to dive back into the young adult world because I really miss it, and I miss these stories, and yeah. So I decided to dive in majorly and completed 2 books at the same time, roughly, and therefore we get 2 book reviews. Yay! So today's book review is going to be for Can't Look Away by Donna Cooner. This book definitely grabbed my attention. I loved all the little like YouTube video-esque images on the cover, and on the back it says, "When is it time to turn off the camera?" And on the top it says, "Pain has never gotten so many hits." And yeah, it just kind of was one of those books that was like, I might want to read this. Definitely interesting to see some fiction written about YouTube and what it means to be a YouTube personality, to kind of live behind the camera and in front of the camera type thing. This book was pretty dang interesting. I was a little sad that it was so short, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Let me tell you a little bit about Can't Look Away. So it follows a girl named Terry Gray. I believe she's like 15 or 16. And she is a beauty blogger, or vlogger, excuse me. I gotta get the terminology right. She's a beauty vlogger. She does all the clothes hauls, all the makeup hauls, all the fun stuff that I don't do, because that is outside of my world. This is my world. And she became very successful at a young age, and she talks about being on teenvogue.com and having like 300,000 followers or subscribers, and you know, she gets all these likes on her videos and comments, and she's been mentioned here and there, and people recognize her, and it's very exciting and wonderful. And yeah, that's kind of her world, and she's so focused on becoming popular and having the most expensive designer whatnots and shooting haul videos, and you know what they do, video vloggers, beauty vloggers, whatever. It's just, I love the beauty vloggers, and there are some that I love heaps. One of them, just to kind of insert it right now, a little plug for them, is Jack. I'll link her down below. She is amazing. She is so far beyond like what some of these beauty vloggers are. Like, she's super inspirational, the sweetest, kindest person I've ever seen like on YouTube. I would love to meet her one day, just give her a big cuddle and be like, thank you for being so amazing, because she really is. She's probably one of my favorites. There's others that I watch from time to time, but I just love Jack. She's super amazing and incredible, so go follow her. But others, you know, they kind of vary and whatnot, and sometimes they can give you really great advice, but sometimes it is just kind of like, nah, I would rather listen to people talk about books. So anyways, Tori is lost in her world of YouTube fame. So one day, Tori goes out to shoot a haul video with her best friend Zoe, and unfortunately tragedy strikes her life when her little sister, who I believe is 11 or 12, gets hit by a drunk driver and dies. And her family's world is just turned upside down, and it's a horrific event and something that hopefully none of you will ever have to experience, or I, because it really is awful. And from that point forward, after the death of her sister, Miranda is her name, the family is just not the same. Her mum just completely distanced herself from the family, just kind of gets lost in grief and pain, and just kind of seems to have given up on life. Her dad's busy with work, and Tori is kind of stuck in this weird world of people saying really nasty things on her vlogs and commenting everywhere about her, talking about how she's fake and she's terrible and she caused her sister's death. And then there's other people who sympathize for her and feel bad for her and want to be there for her. And it's just this very weird thing. And she doesn't vlog again after her sister's passing. So she's been very silent in the YouTube world. And she's kind of stuck in this thing of really missing it and also being kind of terrified to go back to it. And she talks a lot about how important it makes her feel when people like her videos or when they subscribe, or, you know, the attention basically that she gets, and how much she misses it. And at times Tori can be really kind of annoying, because there's points in this book where you're like, girl, like, your sister dying should have woken you up and totally changed your perspective. Because even though she's lost her sister and she's moved from Colorado to Texas and life is different, all this stuff has changed, she's still so consumed with being popular and what people think about her, and does she post a vlog, does she not post a vlog? And she kind of gets to this point of even almost like using her sister's death as a means to up her popularity. And there's times where you just are reading it and you just want to kind of punch her in the face. But there's times on the other side of it where I think being like someone that does YouTube, being someone that, you know, is involved in this world, you kind of get it where it's like, for me, like, you guys are my friends. I don't think of you as followers, I don't think of you as subscribers or just some random nameless person out there. You're my friends. And there's a part of me that wants to share things with you that feels like, hey, maybe the rest of the world doesn't understand, but you guys do. And I want to talk to you and I want to, you know, have those moments with you. But on the other hand, there are some things that should be left outside of YouTube, that should be left outside of this kind of public way of living. And I think that she's kind of learning that balance and realizing that there is more to life than getting subscribers. There's more to life than having a really successful YouTube channel. And the beauty of the story is she goes to this new school, meets Luis, this really nice guy who works at a funeral home, which is kind of random, and starts to discover that there's life beyond the YouTube world. There is life beyond likes and comments and constantly being online and trying to come up with the next beauty haul or whatever it might be. And I love that message. I think that it's something we all need to remember from time to time. There is more to life than this. Hi guys. You know, personally, there are times where I'm like, oh, I gotta read this book super fast because I want to review it and I want to make videos about it for you guys, or I want to talk about it. Or, you know, my brain is constantly like, wait, should I take my camera? Is it charged? Because I want to make sure that I get those shots of X, Y, and Z, because that would be really great for my vlog. And your brain kind of gets thinking in this repetitive pattern of, you know, what can I show people? What can't I show people? What do I want to show people? What don't I? It's like you're almost always in a pre-production type mentality, and that's not always the way to live your life. And I think we miss so much when we're cooped up editing videos, or when we're constantly behind the camera just looking for that perfect shot or that perfect haul or whatever it is. And we miss out on some really great opportunities to meet new people and, you know, realize that even though you guys are my friends and we are from all over the world, and that is the most amazing thing ever, there are some really great people right here, right now, and people that do want to spend time with us, and that we don't have to, you know, try to be something or, you know, do something or have the best bookshelf or read the coolest books or whatever it is to get their attention or to get them to like us or want to talk to us. And so I just think there's some really, really good kind of life lessons in here. I ended up giving it 3 stars out of 5. I was going to give it 2, but I gave it 3. And the only reason I did is because I think that, like I said, there is some really good points in here, and I think that there are things that we just personally, all of us, need to remember, that sometimes we need to pull away from the technology and see what's around us, you know. The reason I gave it 3 stars was just for that. It would have been 2. First thing, it was a lot shorter. It's a very short book. Let's look at this. I mean, this book reminded me of what I used to read in, like, elementary school. There's only like 264 pages or something like that. It's very, very short. This took me a day to read, and that wasn't a consistent day. It was just a day. It was not like a long read or anything. And And I think there was so much more that could have been built up with this character and the characters that she was meeting, and kind of how Tori comes to the realization of everything. And I just was like, it just felt like it resolved too fast, and it just wasn't quite there. It was like almost there, but not quite there. So I really wasn't liking that. Overall, like I said, the character Tori is pretty annoying at times, and her constant need to impress people and get back online and be in the popular crowd and all that is really annoying to me, because it's like, girl, there's way more to life than that. And especially after losing her sister, you would think she would have come to that realization, but it takes her forever to get there. And there were just certain things with characters that just weren't as believable as I would like them to be. And you know, I think it could have been more, I guess. I just was left wanting a lot more than I got. But overall, just the story was really touching. Her remembering his sister Miranda and kind of going through the grief process definitely gave me some feels. It was just last year that I lost a really good friend of mine. I think I've mentioned him before. His name was Taylor. And, you know, there's still moments where he comes to mind, and it's difficult to talk about him or think about him. You know, just the other day I went on FaceTime, and it showed a call that I had with him, you know, ages ago. And I was just like, man, like, your heart just crushes and sinks, and you wish they were here, that you could just text them or call them and say, hey, like, I'm missing you, but you can't. Sorry, just gets me all sad. So I definitely know how that feels, and it was definitely something that my heart was relating to, but I still just, it wasn't quite there. So I was really disappointed. Wish it had been longer. Wish there was just more to it. But I think it's overall got some really good, important messages, but not what I was hoping for. So yeah, that is it for that book. I don't really have much more to say. I'll be going through on my blog and kind of pulling apart it. You see all the little post-it notes that I have. So those are all just kind of comments and things that Tori says or the characters say that I think are kind of relevant. And I'll go through and break that down a little bit more later. But yeah, that was my review for Can't Look Away. Comment down below if you've read it or what your thoughts are on just kind of the whole need to be involved, the need for likes. Tori comments and says that it makes her feel important. It makes her feel like, you know, she's special or something of that nature. And I think to a certain extent it does make us feel that way. You know, to know that people are out there that enjoy what we do and they want to be a part of it. And there's an ugly side to it too, which she talks about. But I don't know, is it super important? Do you think there is life beyond the camera? Let me know. Comment down below what your thoughts are in general. If you have read it, I would definitely love to hear your thoughts. But that is all. Until next time, book lovelies, happy reading.